Hello and welcome. It's time now to take a quick look at all the national and international news and news from the world of sports and entertainment in Non-Stop 100. A huge blaze broke out at the Pulgaon Central Armament Depot in Maharashtra. 18 jawans, including 2 army officers, have been killed in the fire. 19 injured have now been rushed to the hospital. The massive fire also broke out at the army depot in Maharashtra has left the CEO and the deputy commander with serious burns. The fire, which broke out at 2 this morning in one shed, rapidly spread to the others. In fact, it was finally contained and controlled at about 10 in the morning today. After the fire spread, 5 villages in that area were also evacuated at 5:30 in the morning. The villagers have now been asked to move back in once the situation is fully under control. The Chief Minister of the state, Devendra Fadnavis, has assured the armed forces of full cooperation and support from the district administration. Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar will be reaching the Pulgaon Central Armament Depot tonight, and the Army Chief is also expected to visit the site and also the injured. Senior BJP leader Kirit Somaiya has demanded a detailed investigation by the central agencies into the alleged involvement of Robert Vadra in the purchase of a mansion in London in the year 2009. Meanwhile, BJP MP Subramaniam Swamy has reacted sharply to Robert Vadra's links to a property in London, where he alleges that Vadra is in the process of seeking a British citizenship. He's even called on the government to act soon before he gets it. Congress President Sonia Gandhi, meanwhile, has staunchly defended Robert Vadra, calling it a conspiracy. She says that there is absolutely no truth to the allegation and the government can order a probe if there is any proof. The National Green Tribunal has rejected the Art of Living's plea, seeking to pay compensation by bank guarantee for violation of environmental norms during a cultural event organized in the month of March. Protests broke out in Vadodara, with locals taking to the streets against the police and the municipal corporation over the anti-encroachment drive. Locals took to stone pelting against the police as the protests soon turned violent. There's more proof of Pakistan-sponsored terror groups trying to infiltrate into India. That has now come to light in a fresh terror video. A group of heavily armed Hizbul Mujahideen terrorists can be seen at a launch pad in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. After the revelations, Eknath Khadse spoke to India today and admitted that the landowner had approached him to sort out the compensation issue. Eknath Khadse admitted to meeting landowner before his wife and son-in-law purchased that bit of land. In a first, the Jammu and Kashmir government will be the first state in the country to give free education for all girls up to class 12. For college-going girls, the government has announced a subsidy of 50% on buying vehicles like scooties. After rain-triggered cloud burst in Uttarakhand, the Met Department has now raised the alert warning for more rains in that hilly area. Thousands of pilgrims on the Char Dham Yatra do still remain stranded. After enlisting children for its fight against terror, the VHP has now set its eyes on women to counter the love jihad bogey. Durga Vahini, the women wing of the VHP, is now training women with weapons and also giving karate lessons so that they can fight back rape and love jihad. The Pakistani Hindu girl is all set to become a doctor in India. The girl student, who scored over 91% in her board exam but failed to find a seat in a medical college, has now been assured of a seat in Karnataka. The son of a school sweeper in Ghaziabad secured a perfect 10 grade point average, especially since he topped the very class where his mother was once employed as a sweeper. In Bihar's capital, a trader who refused to pay extortion was murdered by goons, while in Chapra, another businessman was murdered. According to his family members, the businessman was shot dead over a road contract dispute. In Uttar Pradesh's Mirzapur, 2 final year MBA students drowned while they were taking selfies. This was during their visit to a waterfall. The students had gone on an excursion and they were taking pictures when they unfortunately slipped. In Punjab's Patiala, a girl died after she, along with her friend, jumped off a moving bus. Her friend was injured in the mishap that was caught on camera. Reportedly, these girls wanted to get off, but the driver didn't stop and they soon jumped off. African students took to the streets in the national capital, condemning the recent attacks on their community members. Students of the community gathered at Jantar Mantar demanding action being taken by the government, even as the Delhi police has received quite a bit of flack over the incidents of crime. Meanwhile, an Ola cab driver has been allegedly assaulted by a group of Africans, 5 men and a woman, after he refused to allow more than 4 passengers to travel in his vehicle. This incident took place in Mehrauli and the taxi driver did suffer cuts and bruises. The minister from Goa has also blamed Africans. President Pranab Mukherjee, meanwhile, has said that he is pained and upset by the recent attacks on African students, while the Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar and the Delhi Police Chief have assured them that the government is committed to ensuring their safety during their stay in our country. Comedy group AIB has landed in a huge controversy with the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena filing a complaint against the comedian Tanmay Bhatt for making a spoof video of Lata Mangeshkar and Sachin Tendulkar. The BJP has also filed a complaint. The Mumbai's police cyber crime cell is preparing to clamp down that viral spoof video that was posted by Tanmay Bhatt. The cyber cell division are now in touch with Google, Facebook and YouTube to pull the controversial video down. News from the national capital. The BJP carried out massive protests just outside the Chief Minister's residence. Delhi BJP protests key administrative issues in Delhi, including the water crisis in South Delhi. A Dalit student of Delhi University has alleged that he was tortured by a senior student. The victim is a first-year student of law in North Campus. 11 suspected ISIS operatives arrested from across the country for allegedly financing and recruiting people to join the terror group have now moved the Delhi High Court seeking bail on the ground that the trial court, while dismissing their bail plea, had not extended their remand. Naseem Mirza, 106, who is perhaps Delhi's oldest man alive, has recounted his days that he spent with Shahid Bhagat Singh. He says that the freedom fighter had visited his house on numerous occasions. In the city's Jagatpuri area, child robbers are on the prowl. The gang broke into a shop twice, creating quite a lot of panic in that area. The theft was caught on CCTV. A number of robberies have increased in the last few days. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump and his organization are now planning to create India's only Trump Tower in Mumbai. The amazing service that Trump would be offering to the residents also includes a private jet service. Senior Congress leader and former Union Finance Minister P. Chidambaram has filed his nomination papers for the Rajya Sabha polls. Chidambaram filed his papers from Mumbai's Vidhan Sabha earlier this morning. The Shiv Sena has slammed the Congress for fielding the former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram from Maharashtra for the Rajya Sabha poll. In fact, the Shiv Sena says the party has quote-unquote damaged itself by foisting him on the state. The Supreme Court has declined a plea by mother of the late actress Pratyusha Banerjee seeking cancellation of anticipatory bail of Rahul Raj Singh, accused of abetment to suicide of the TV actor. The state government says that it would do away with over 200 laws that are in place since the British rule. Experts say that at least 190 acts are redundant as of now. News now from Hyderabad, where the Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu has announced the candidature of Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu as the TDP-BJP combined candidate for a Rajya Sabha seat from Andhra Pradesh in the election that is slated for 11th June. TRS leaders Dharmapuri Srinivas and Captain Lakshmikant Rao will be also filing their nomination papers for the Rajya Sabha elections today. Days after 5 persons, including a teenage girl, were killed as the car in which they were travelling got hit by 2 lorries. The police have failed to nab one of the accused trucker. In fact, this even after the entire accident was caught on CCTV. Experts have blamed the depleting groundwater table as one of the prime causes of trees being uprooted. In the recent thunderstorms, Hyderabad apparently lost around 2,000 trees. A BTech student has sent a suicide note to Chief Minister and the Telangana Police Chief, alleging attempts by her mother and husband to force her into prostitution. The victim committed suicide a week ago. A shocking murder took place in broad daylight. This incident was reported from Bengaluru, where a boy trying to bring peace between 2 groups was stabbed right in the middle of the road. Tensions followed soon after that murder. The State Home Minister Parameshwara has made yet another appeal to constables to withdraw their decision to go on mass leave on 4th June. The state is looking at revising their salaries of the police constables. Chairman of Arun Capital, Mohandas Pai, has stirred up a row saying African students must find a secure campus and should not be in universities that don't have residential campuses. He says that there are problems on both the sides. Hundreds of dead fish were found dead in Hebel Lake, and most of the fish were cleared off. A few were still seen to be floating on the surface of the lake. In fact, the inflow of sewage into the lake has led to the decreased oxygen levels. A drunk driver tried to mow down 2 school children who were returning back home. In fact, the CCTV footage clearly shows that the car being driven in a rash manner. The kids, however, thankfully had a miraculous escape. News now from Chennai, where 2 children were killed and several others were injured as a tourist bus that they were travelling in was electrocuted after it came in contact with a high-tension wire. The kids were on a summer vacation with their family. The injured are now admitted in hospital. Despite the Chief Minister's claims that Tamil Nadu was a power surplus state, long-duration power cuts are still a common phenomenon in the capital, Chennai. Experts say it's lack of infrastructure that is leading to the power cuts. DMK chief, meanwhile, Karunanidhi has urged the Prime Minister to include Dalit Christians and fishermen community into the scheduled tribe list. He says people who convert to Christianity should not be divested from their SC and ST status. Tamil Nadu Congress chief EVKS Elangovan has slammed the Election Commission for not being able to curb money distribution during the elections. He asked just how could the Prime Minister congratulate Jayalalitha even before the results were declared. In an apparent bid to thank the Chief Minister Jayalalitha for her 8-gram gold Mangal Sutra scheme, a goldsmith has created a special Mangal Sutra with the words saying "Thank you, Amma" that have been inscribed on it. News now from Kerala, where the High Court has refused to accept a plea seeking CBI probe into the rape and murder of a Dalit law student. In fact, the court cited the formation of a new police team for denying a CBI probe. More body parts of an NRI Keralite have been found in different parts of Alapura, where the NRI was allegedly murdered and burnt by his own son after a property dispute. The leader of the opposition in the state has Ramesh Chennithala saying that there are no splits in the United Democratic Front. In fact, the former Home Minister says that he was prepared to take on the role of the opposition leader. Kerala Agriculture Minister has cleared air about the controversial Hydel project. He says that there is no difference of opinion between the CPI and the CPM. State Finance Minister has blamed the UDF government of depleting the state exchequer balance. He says the exchequer had an excess of 2,000 crore rupees when he handed over the ministry to the UDF government. News now from Kolkata, where a woman from Nepal was allegedly raped inside a moving car by some unidentified men. In Kolkata Salt Lake area, sources say that the woman was abducted and she was raped when she came out with her friends for dinner. A TMC worker was arrested by the Rajasthan police on charges of running a fraud scheme. In fact, the accused was the director of a chit fund scheme, which also had a branch in Rajasthan. He was now on run since the scam came to light. 5 people, including a woman, were injured in a TMC faction clash in Bardhaman. In fact, the Trinamool Congress supporters took out a celebration rally, and allegedly a few men who were said to be drunk tried to misbehave with the women supporters, and this then led to a clash. A few people were injured after a multiple vehicle collision that was reported from Howrah. The condition of the injured are now said to be stable. Scores of cars piled up in that freak accident. A rare species of Siberian bird has been recovered in Purulia town. Locals first spotted this bird, after which they informed the forest department. At present, this bird is now being kept under observation and would be shifted to a zoo later. Now for some international news, a photograph of a drowned migrant baby in the arms of a German rescuer was distributed by a humanitarian organization aiming to persuade European authorities to ensure a safe passage to migrants after hundreds have been feared to be drowned in the Mediterranean just last week. The Iraqi army has now begun an operation to storm Fallujah, the Islamic State group's stronghold just near Baghdad. Explosions and gunfire could be heard in the southern Namia district. Pakistan's Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif will be undergoing an open-heart surgery in a London hospital today. He faces growing demands for his resignation over the alleged offshore wealth that was accumulated by 3 of his 4 children. The north side of the White House was placed on a security lockdown because of a suspicious package. In fact, the partial lockdown on the Memorial Day holiday occurred just while the US President was back home. The victim of an alleged gang rape in Rio de Janeiro has spoken out, saying that when she came to her senses, she saw that she was surrounded by men on each side of her, many of whom were armed. Three people have been killed in floods in the southwestern German state, in which one of the persons died in an underground car park, which was also filled with water. North Korean state media has released still photograph of its leader Kim Jong-un watching a friendly basketball game between North and China. In fact, these photographs show Kim smiling and clapping while he was watching that match. Chinese scientists have revealed the three-dimensional structure of a compound of a kind of protein in human cells, providing an important theoretical basis for further research on the disease of Ebola and Niemann-Pick. The Turkish president has asked Muslims to have more children and says no Muslim family should engage in birth control or family planning. In fact, he wants Turkey to be among the world's top 10 economies by the year 2023. Mexican soccer player Alan Pulido was rescued within a day of his kidnapping in the rest of northeastern state after he was able to make a phone call and alert authorities about his location. Frequent eruptions in Costa Rica's Turrialba volcano over the last 1 month have greatly affected the agriculture and husbandry industries of several surrounding areas. This volcano has experienced more than 4 eruptive activities this month itself. The Afghanistan president has dedicated an ambitious reconstruction project to restore the ruins of the historic Darul Aman Palace. His initiative is aimed at signaling a new future for the war-torn country. Wildlife authorities in Thailand have raided a Buddhist temple where tigers were being kept, taking away 3 of the animals and vowing to confiscate scores in response to the global pressure over wildlife trafficking. Thousands of people turned up to watch the annual cheese rolling competition in the English village of Brockworth, where the traditional spectacle involves chasing a wheel-shaped double Gloucester cheese weighing 3.6 kilograms down the Cooper Hill. The Himalayan crocodile diamond Birkin handbag by Hermes became the world's most expensive handbag that did sell for $300,000 at Christie's 30th Asia Anniversary Auction in Hong Kong. In sports news, Ravi Shastri has backed Virat Kohli to captain India in all formats. In fact, the former team director has said that this is the right time for Virat Kohli to take over from Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Ravi Shastri also spoke on BCCI's coach hunt. The former team director has said that he's available to coach the Indian team. The hearing in the Sushil Kumar versus Narsingh case for Rio birth has now been deferred up till the 1st of June. Two-time Olympic medalist Sushil Kumar has sought the High Court seeking trials against Narsingh Yadav. Northeast United Football Club has signed Japanese midfielder Katsumi Yusa for the upcoming edition of the Indian Super League. The Northeast United now becomes the first ISL franchise to sign an international player of Asian origin. The French Open suffered its first complete washout since 2000 on Monday. All the scheduled matches were cancelled as a result of heavy rain. Real Madrid celebrated the 11th Champions League title with fans at Bernabeu. The captain Sergio Ramos credits Zinedine Zidane for the team's success. England football team get up for their international friendly against Portugal. Now this will be the Three Lions final friendly before the Euro 2016 tournament. And now for some entertainment news, there are reports that suggest that Amir Khan has been roped in for a guest appearance in the second season of Anil Kapoor's small screen drama 24. The actor will also be seen on the show's launch in the first week of June. Sunny Leone and Arbaz Khan will be acting opposite one another in Tera Intezar, which will be directed by Rajiv Walia. This movie will be shot in the Great Run of Kutch in August. The upcoming flick Begum Jaan will see Anu Malik composing the music and Asha Bhosle doing the playback. Anu Malik, who has been unwell and has been recuperating after an operation, has been having sittings with the song with, in fact, her in the hospital room. Ritesh Deshmukh, Nargis Fakri starrer Banjo's teaser is also out. The news was shared by Ritesh himself on Twitter with a special Bachchan touch to it. Junior Bachchan, Abhishek, can be heard in the trailer as he introduces the film's lead actor. Actor Imran Hashmi, who essayed the character of former cricketer Mohammad Azharuddin in a film, gifted him a watch recently to thank Azharuddin for all his support and help during the making of this movie. Johnny Depp's former partner has written a letter calling him a loving and sensitive person amidst all the allegations of physical abuse that has been levelled by his ex-wife, Amber. Comedian Doug Stanhope has now come to the defense of Johnny Depp, claiming his estranged wife, Amber, had told the actor that she was going to leave him. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella has now met Prime Minister and the Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad separately to discuss the government's Digital India initiative and Microsoft's involvement in it. Meanwhile, India's Nirmala Sitharaman, the Commerce Minister, says that she was in talks with the Finance Ministry on Apple Inc.'s foreign direct investment proposal. She says that she was not in favour of relaxing the rules. Snapdeal has announced to open its data sciences centers in California. The center will be focusing on big data and advanced analytics to understand consumer behavior and also build business growth strategies based on the results. NASA has successfully expanded and pressurized an add-on room at the International Space Station just 2 days after aborting the first attempt when it ran into some problems. Trying to deflect heat over poor service, mobile operators are now using a new technology to mask call drops. Reports say the technology shows a call as connected even when the network connection is lost.